Yo, what's good YouTube? It's your boy JY here with another video. So today is Wednesday, the 16th of March, 2022. And I went to go see Jujutsu Kaisen 0 in the cinema. And here in the UK, I believe the official release is the 18th, but they had some previews on the 16th to 17th. So I managed to go see it today with some friends. And I'm gonna right off the bat give you like my rating of the movie. So I've literally just watched it like about an hour and a half ago. You know, right now it's almost midnight. I left the theaters about 10:30, and so overall I'd give it a 7.4 out of 10. I felt like it was good, but it had the potential to be so much more, and it really it fell flat in many areas. But I feel like I'm being like, the reason it gets the 7.4 is because I'm being generous, because I love season 1 of Jujutsu Kaisen. I think it's a really, really great show with really, really great potential, which is why I'm being so generous with my score. But now I'm just going to go into spoiler territory. So, if you don't want it to be spoiled for you, please, go watch it in your local cinema, or, do what you have to do. But yeah, I'm going to go into spoiler territory now. So, like if I compare it to Mugen Train, right, Demon Slayer movie came out last year, Mugen Train gets a solid 9 out of 10. So like that's tiers above this, and I'm gonna like compare them because I feel like they were both really like they came out sort of similar times, and they're both quite similar, 25 episodes or 24 episode long season. And they both had their season 1, then had a movie following that. So, and they're both sort of similar levels of popularity. Of course, Demon Slayer is way more popular than Jujutsu Kaisen. But yeah, I'm going to compare them because I feel like they're quite close to each other in that way. And even the themes are very similar in the animes. Demons, cursed spirits, same shit, another day. But yeah, so getting to Jujutsu Kaisen 0, I felt like the pacing was quite off. I felt like the first hour of the movie was so slow. It just felt like it should have been an OVA, like all this kind of like backstory, and I just felt like it just wasn't really set up in the right way. And then like the best part of the movie was like the war, right? On the 24th, Christmas Eve, when Geto said he's gonna declare war, and have a bunch of curses unleashed on the city to attack everybody. Like that was the movie. That should have been the bulk of the movie. The same way with the Mugen Train, the whole movie was that one night on the train. That night of the war should have been the movie. Instead of having this long like setup, was really just bland content in my opinion. And and another thing, I think this like the way they set the movie up wasn't that great. So for example, in Mugen Train, right, end of season 1 of Demon Slayer, where like the arc is finished, they had their whole like final like kind of fight or whatever, and then it was like, okay, next arc we're gonna go to the Mugen Train. Everyone, we're gonna go on this train, and we're gonna go, Rengoku, the Flame Hashira, is gonna be there, and boom, this is what it's gonna be. And we also got like a taste. We got we got to see who Rengoku was, like when they went to like the base of the Demon Slayer corpse area, and you got to see all the Hashira there, and like you got to see who they all were, right? Just a bit of their personality, just a bit of who they were like. So we were so excited to find out more about Rengoku, right? So that built up the anticipation for the movie. It felt like the movie was set up very, very well. Whereas in comparison to Jujutsu Kaisen 0, like the movie is all about, Yuta Akotsu, who is like a second-year student, right? Who is and this is all based before season 1, right? Before season 1, so before our main cast and before season 1 begins. And the thing is, he's referenced a few times in season 1, and you get to see a glimpse of him one time, but we don't know anything about him. Like there's nothing like we should have at least we should have had an episode 25 of season 1 where we got to see him doing something relevant to give us some excitement for him, because like it just felt like this guy came out of nowhere and we don't know anything about him, like, and we're just suddenly supposed to be invested in him. So I felt like this movie just wasn't set up very well. And then again, like going back into Jujutsu Kaisen now, like the movie itself, like the beginning, I felt like so they show you his backstory, but it didn't really let me get attached to the character, like in my opinion. Like I didn't really get to know much about him or form a bond with him. I felt like, and then they showed us a flashback multiple times of him and Rika-chan, right? Like him and Rika, like, you know, oh, we're gonna be together forever, here's this ring. Like him walking past her in the hospital or orphanage, wherever it was, multiple times. Bro, you can't show me the same flashback in this movie like multiple times. Come on, stop it. Like they could have at least given us a story, shown us how they, you know, how they met, how their relationship formed, you know, what they meant to each other. We don't know what they meant. We just saw this one scene where she gives him a ring. What? Come on, how did she die? Like they need to like, they should have just given us that, because the problem was, because I didn't get attached to them from the start, I didn't know what their relationship was. Like it didn't really make sense to me. Like obviously it made sense that she was a curse attached to him, protecting him, but I wanted to see more context around their relationship. And at least at the end, when you had the payoff, right, where she becomes, you see her in a human form and the curse has been lifted and he's crying, I felt no emotions at all. Like for me, I'm quite an emotional guy. Anime has kind of allowed me to, it's one thing that I can actually cry to, and has allowed me to sort of get to my feels. For example, when Jiraiya died, I cried so much. When I'm scrolling through Facebook or like, you know, YouTube or whatever, and I see that clip, if I see the clip of, you know, Naruto sitting on that bench and Iruka Sensei comes up to him and gives him that lollipop after Jiraiya's death, I start crying. I see that scene, I start crying. Oh my goodness. But when I saw the scene at the end of Jujutsu Kaisen where, you know, the curse was lifted off Rika, I felt nothing, no emotions, because I felt like they didn't really give us like the context of their relationship, like more about how they met, what they mean to each other. We didn't get any of that. It was just, here you go, like this guy's cursed, you know, he's this girl, he loved her, and boom, she protects him. I don't know, there just wasn't the material there for me to get attached to it. But that's that. And then now, one of the biggest crimes this movie did, like one of the like biggest mistakes they made, I guess, is Todo. Man, my best friendo, my brother, Todo. Oh my God, they let me down, Todo. So the one thing that's referenced in season 1 when they introduced Todo is that he, like this one night during this sort of war incident, Todo beat 100 men, right? And I was like, yo, that's so cool, right? Like, and some of them were high grade, special grade or whatever, or first grade, you know, curses. And I was like, cool. And then when I found out in the movie, when I was watching the movie, right, I was like, oh my God, they're doing this war thing. I'm going to see Todo beat 100 curses. Let's go. The whole movie, I was waiting. I didn't care about Gojo. I love Gojo, of course. I'm a simp for Gojo too, right, in those eyes. But I wanted to see Todo bosh 100 curses in one night. Because in my mind, that number 100 is a special number, because it reminds me of like Berserk. And I'm going to go spoilers into Berserk here real quick with Guts. That one night where he beat those 100 guys, right? Protecting Kasuga. 100 guys, slayed them, boom, all night, fighting. Like just, you know, wounded, arrows shot into him. And he's still fighting through. That's what I was thinking of in my head. I was like, I wanted to see Todo do the same thing. And at least see him maybe get wounded, right, beat down, him have to like grit and grind through these curses. But we didn't get to see any of that. Like they literally showed us him for a few seconds, and obviously he dropped his typical, you know, Takada-chan, I'm gonna go see my favorite, you know, her special, her Christmas special is on tonight. And obviously that cracked me up, but we didn't get to see him fight. I wished if we got to see that 100, oh my God. And like, especially if his teammates got injured, and it was like a grueling fight, because we saw a lot of other Jujutsu sorcerers were getting messed up. Like bodies were being carried into like to the medical station for people just getting bodied. Like if we saw like, you know, the squad really get beat down and Todo like help push through, that would have been dope, man. But we didn't get to see that at all. Like one major line they referenced, like I was more excited for that than seeing, you know, Okotsu and his whole thing. But yeah, that was another big letdown for me. And then another thing is the fights themselves were not that great. Like we got to see a few flashes, like Nanami did some cool stuff. I wish we saw more of him as well. He's one of my favorites as well. But yeah, and Gojo, like the one guy we were hoping to see him in action, and like what he did in that movie didn't even come close to what he did in season 1. Which is like, come on, man, this is a letdown. Like even the animation quality, like his eyes weren't even as good as they were in season 1 as they were in the movie. Come on, man, like what was going on here? Like that's my opinion, by the way. Like this is from my first viewing, that's how I feel. If you disagree with me, that's totally cool, all right? don't come at me. I'm not like sending for anybody, all right? Yeah, I just felt like the fights just wasn't that great. And like his one main fight against Miguel, oh my God, Miguel. Miguel. Oh, so for me, all right, I'm in the theaters, I'm watching it, and there's one black character, Miguel, all right, my guy, and my brother, all right? And his weapon is a whip. He's got a whip. And he references the whip, yeah, has cursed energy built up over decades in his country. And I thought, because they referenced him as a foreigner, I was thinking, oh my goodness, Japan, you can't be doing this. I was thinking that there was a reference to slavery. I thought he was from America and that whip was cursed energy built up from slavery. I was thinking, this is ridiculous. Oh my goodness. Like after the movie, I mentioned to my friends, and my friends were like, oh my God, that's crazy. Oh wow. And like it just, yeah. But once I got home, before I recorded this video, I did a quick wiki search about Miguel, and apparently he's a sorcerer from Africa, and it's like a special rope that they do some stuff with. He seems like quite a cool character, with so hopefully it'd be cool to see more about him. But in the movie, with no context, that was ridiculous. I find it funny, but please come on. Don't cancel Jujutsu Kaisen over this, okay? Please. You guys have cancelled enough shit already, alright? Stay the fuck out of this, alright? No cancelling Jujutsu Kaisen, not today, not on my watch. Yeah, so I thought that was a bit ridiculous. And now on to Geto. He just felt like a budget Madara for real. Oh my goodness, he felt like he was like Madara meets Vegeta. That was Geto, like literally Madara meets Vegeta, budget style, like Walmart version of Madara. Hey, Dad, can we have some Madara? No, we have some Madara at home, and it's Geto trying to act like Vegeta Principal Saiyans. Oh my goodness. Like it felt so bad. Oh my God. Like yeah. But the thing is, he is quite an interesting character, and it'll be quite cool to see like his evolution, end of season 1 to end of the movie, to how he gets to how he is in season 1. So it'd be interesting if we get to find out more about that, because he seems like quite an interesting character. But in the movie, I don't know. I didn't like his character that much, to be honest. It felt so weird. He just felt like such a bad villain. Maybe that's the way he was supposed to be. Maybe he's not meant to be like a proper villain. But yeah, it just felt off. I did get some vibes, like the whole like Hiroshima and Madara. I got that kind of vibes. Geto and Gojo. That's the kind of vibes I got from them. But yeah, it just felt like a letdown. But Okotsu was cool. Like I liked the whole. It felt quite like Nine-Tailed Fox kind of thing. Like having your whole cursed spirit and like protecting you and stuff. But it just that story, it wasn't good enough to carry the movie, honestly. Especially the way it was structured. But yeah, so like honestly, like from all this criticism, I feel like it's a 7, and I'm being generous giving it a 7. It's probably a 6 if I'm being real. But the thing is, I think if you like Jujutsu Kaisen, you should still go see it, because it's cool to see it on the big screen. Even though the fights were a bit lackluster, like we had some cool moments, of course, but I just felt like for example, the movie had nothing on the entertainment district part of Demon Slayer. And why am I comparing the two? They're two different animes, but I just feel like the quality of the fights, like I feel Jujutsu Kaisen, it has all the substances there, all the content is there, the design is there, the swag. Jujutsu Kaisen has the most swag, like so much swag. The OST, by the way, the soundtrack, beautiful. They do some great things with the OST. I love it. And it's just, I felt like they just let themselves down with this movie, honestly. But I still think it's a good movie. It had the potential for greatness, and it missed that mark. But hopefully we do get season 2, and hopefully season 2 is popping, because the anime itself, it has some amazing characters, really cool story, really cool design, and such a unique flavor, such unique swag. So I think it has the potential to be a GOAT. So hopefully it does, we get to see it live up to that potential. But yeah, that is my review of the movie. Again, this is literally right after my first watch, my first watch. So my opinion may change after a second watch. Who knows? Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. What was your favorite part of the movie, or what was your least favorite? But yeah, that's pretty much it. Hope you guys enjoyed. Peace out, guys. Bye.